So you just got done watching the fights. The kids are asleep. The wife's in the other room doing, well, what wives do.
Am I the only one that does a goddamn thing around here? How hard is it to pick up after a
So decision time. You could either go in the other room and deal with...
After all I've done today, you expect me to wanna...
Or keep it locked right here, because it's time for the Billy C post-fight wrap-up on the BillyCBoxing.com network. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Billy C.
And we're coming to you live from the Billy C Studios in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Calogero, and it's time for Billy C's Leo Santa Cruz and Carl Frampton post-fight show. The rematch just finished, and in case you missed it, this time around, we had Leo Santa Cruz winning his world title back. He won a majority decision. One judge saw it 114-114, and two had it 115-113 in favor of Leo Santa Cruz. My man Leo Santa Cruz improves to 33 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 18 wins coming by knockout, and he's now reclaimed the WBA World Featherweight title, and he picked up the WBC Diamond Belt. Personally, I thought it was a good fight. I think that it started off a little slow. I'll be honest, it started off a little slow. I thought Leo Santa Cruz fought the smart fight this time by using his jab and arm reach and height. And it looked like, in my opinion, Carl Frampton just did not throw enough punches. I actually think that maybe Carl Frampton was a little overconfident. He seemed like, he was looking for that one-punch knockout. He said that he felt stronger, and I think it showed. I think that was his undoing. Either way, do you smell a third fight? Joining me right now, my partner in crime during the morning on the Billy C Morning Show, ladies and gentlemen, Rocky Senicolo. Rocky, what did you think of the fight?
Absolutely. I thought it was a good fight. Very good fight. I did see Leo Santa Cruz come out the victor, and I had him ahead most of the fight, if not the whole fight. And I saw moments when Frampton looked like he was trying to figure him out and come on. But, yeah, it was a good fight. Very good fight. Definitely warrants a third fight, a rubber match, and no holds bar is the theme of these fights, and they both fought to win. Only I had Santa Cruz coming out the victor.
Yeah, I had him winning 116-112. That was my score.
I had 118-112 with a couple of those sway rounds. Could have gone more like 116-112. Yes.
Yeah, I had rounds 3, 4, and 5. I put on my score sheet, all very close. Could have gone either way.
Yes, that's mine too.
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, listen, I thought that Leo Santa Cruz fought a much smarter fight this time. Yes. He is a guy that likes to mix it up and go toe-to-toe, and he did that in the first fight, and Carl Frampton got the better of him. I think, and I said it earlier, Sal, I think that Carl Frampton, his mistake was that he was looking for that one-punch knockout. He thought he was going to knock out Leo Santa Cruz. I think that he waited too long looking for that perfect shot, and in the meantime, Leo Santa Cruz was putting rounds in the bank, and that's how I think he won the fight. What do you think?
You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, the jab that Santa Cruz established early on, especially in the second round, definitely kept Santa Cruz in the right position. His feet were under him. He was in a good balance. He was able to throw his punches. I think Frampton had a hard time reaching him effectively and had to lunge a little bit, and he was off balance a little bit. And then, I thought around the third round, I thought Frampton was starting to make the adjustments necessary to turn the tide in his favor, but he just seemed like he couldn't shift the boat or couldn't just make that turn complete. And, I think Frampton landed a couple good rights to the body and rights to the head in the fifth. But, again, I just saw Santa Cruz constantly with that jab, with the hook, with the body attack, being a little more effective. And but it was a great fight, and I think it definitely warrants a third fight.
The co-main event, Mikey Garcia picked up a world title. He's now the WBC World Lightweight Champion. He improved to 37-0 with 36-0 with 30 knockouts. Destroyed Dejan Letician in that fight. Oh my God! Did you see that two-punch shot, an uppercut followed by a crushing right hand sent Letician down and out? I mean, he was out cold, Sal.
He was out cold. In fact, I was very worried for him. I think Garcia, Mikey, I love Mikey Garcia. I love his style, I love his fight. I love what he did tonight. And he started out that first round with a good jab, and everything was off that jab of the next two rounds after that. But he just really established the distance, established his jab, established his being a little more dominant. And I gave him the first two rounds, obviously. And, third round, everything was coming together, and it looked like it was going to be a good round. And boy, when he exploded with the uppercut, with that overhand sweeping, let me throw that haymaker right hand. I mean, it was unbelievable. He caught him with that uppercut, and bam, that right hand just came over the top and around like a freaking iron gate, and just clocked him and put him out for good.
Yeah, well, he saw what he did was he was in. First of all, Letician was in some serious trouble.
Yeah,
I mean, you could even have said maybe the ropes kept him up or whatever. But when he turned around, he was basically on Dream Street, and Mikey took that side step, and then just came around like you said, and man, it was lights out. I mean, I've always loved Mikey Garcia because he's a humble guy. He's a no-nonsense guy. He comes out and does his business, and he's very technically sound. The only thing I could see, giving him trouble down the road is if he tangles with a guy with exceptional hand speed, Sal.
Yes, and that could give him trouble. But like you said, I mean, it was just a textbook combination. That uppercut, just you could see it snap his head, snap Letician his neck, and then that overhand right that just recoiled and just put him out. I mean, it was a classic shot.
Yeah, I thought the guy. Thank God he started breathing, man.
Man, when I saw his leg move, I was glad. Yeah.
Well, when they were dragging him back into the ring, I was like, oh man, And listen, we're gonna open up the phone lines because I want to hear people's thoughts. I really want to talk about one fight only tonight, the Carl Frampton Leo Santa Cruz fight. And one of the things I want to point out, and the phone lines are open, 845-228-8710. What's your thoughts on Frampton, Santa Cruz II? Santa Cruz wins. Give us a call. We're going to take one caller at a time. So if somebody's on the line, just wait your turn, try back. But I tell you, what about Kenny Bayless? I mean, all the looks, he's always looking at, what is it with him? How many close-up shots did we miss because we got his back in the camera shot? I don't think he's that great of a referee, Sal.
I know. I think he tried to do what he could do, and it just he might fall short in some eyes. I think, and it is what it is.
Jeez, with all the faces he makes. Jeez. Joining us now, Dax Khan.
You think he has a vested interest in the fight?
I don't know. I think he's getting paid extra for every fucked up looking mug he puts up. But joining us now, Dax Khan. Dax, what's your thoughts on the Frampton Santa Cruz rematch, my man?
Hey, it was a good fight. Carl Frampton was just a step behind all night. What more can you say? Carl Frampton was a step behind all night. Leo Santa Cruz, as we discussed earlier in the week, I thought the real difference in this fight was going to be Carl Frampton's movement and his footwork that was going to bother Leo Santa Cruz unless he made the adjustments. But Leo came out so fast, and he was getting the better on the inside. So all the credit to Leo Santa Cruz and Carl Frampton. You can't take nothing away from him. So it's one of these rare fights, Bill. I really have nothing bad to say, except, you know what? I want to see it again.
I hope they do a third fight. I mean, it makes sense. It'll make financial sense. I just, I said earlier, and I really believe that Frampton, his undoing in this fight, Dax, was that he seemed to be headhunting. He seemed to be looking for a one-punch knockout. And kudos to Leo Santa Cruz because he fought very disciplined, which is usually unlike him. But he still has that moving that right hand, that glove. You saw that,
You know
right?
what? Hey, you know what? I can't knock it. It worked tonight. Whatever it did,
I
it worked.
thought about you watching the fight, Bill.
So did
I
I.
literally sat there and said, "Oh man," I said, "I bet
Billy's
you right now,
pretty good.
Billy's shaking his head, going, why does he keep moving that hand?"
I guess it didn't bother him, but I couldn't just the faces. What's up with Kenny Bayless, man?
I don't know. Kenny Bayless isn't quite the referee he used to be.
He's not. I don't think he ever was. I think he's just what I say. You must obey. What if I look at you with a googly eye, you must break. If I tell you it's a low blow, it's a low blow. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I was shocked, and I think maybe Carl Frampton was shocked with how fast Leo came out. Leo usually, kind of starts slow, and then as the fight wears on, he picked up his pace, and he's just known for that constant volume. But the jab definitely made a difference, and I think Carl Frampton had a hard time getting past that jab. The only thing that I actually believe that if Leo Santa Cruz would have implored the uppercut a little bit more, that Carl Frampton would have been in, a lot more serious trouble. But either way, another fight is definitely warranted, So I'm excited to make another one. And, what really we have to give both guys credit for is they did the rematch. And you know what? I don't think that if it's offered out, they'd turn down a third one.
I think that we might see Leo Santa Cruz change his style a bit. I think this is a good educational process for him. I think he realizes that, hey, he's going to be in that ring generally with a height and reach advantage, and why not fight smart like he did? That was his key words leading up to the fight. He said he was going to fight smart. I think we saw him fight smart. Although he started off fast, Dax, I think that Frampton kind of pushed that envelope. I think that Leo Santa Cruz came out with that jab, and Frampton didn't go to a plan B. If I'm gonna, I love the fight too, and like you and Sal, I want to see a third one. But I think that Carl Frampton was overconfident and didn't have a plan B.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
I agree 100%. He was just one step behind Leo Santa Cruz all night. So, it happens. Sometimes you go in there, and when you fight a guy like they did in the first one, where it was so close, sometimes you start thinking that you know a guy so well. And, Leo Santa Cruz, he obviously went, he did his homework. I know that they alluded to it during the broadcast, and I had heard before then that, Carl Frampton was, in his sparring, he was, mainly working on delivering, these hard punches, in sparring. And you spoke before, I believe you guys were speaking before about maybe, he thought he was going to knock Leo Santa Cruz out. So maybe that's, what happened. And, with Leo Santa Cruz's improvements, it just wasn't Carl Frampton's night. But, you can't take nothing away from him either, because he didn't lay down, until the final round, which I actually gave him the final round. So this is a guy who, through all 12 rounds, he fought like a champion is supposed to.
Yeah, no doubt. We got a bunch of people trying to call in, but I wanted to get your thoughts on Mikey Garcia. Speaking about did you really I mean, listen, nobody loves Mikey Garcia more than me, but I got to be honest, I was not expecting a lights-out, devastating knockout win over Letician. What was your thoughts on that one?
I seen it coming. Check our Twitter feed, check my Twitter feed. I was back and forth. I had them both open at the same time because I was also doing the HBO card. I said, the way he's just coming in there tight like that, and he's trying to bull himself in and hope that he was just going to catch Mikey Garcia and knock him out. Which was a bad strategy because Mikey Garcia is a much better boxer. So now I loved the knockout. It was exciting. Earlier this week, I said to you, I don't even know how this is for a title. Mikey Garcia has fought one C-level opponent in 2 years. How do you get a title shot? I don't know. So you know what? Great fight, but I'm not excited about it because you got to show me a follow-up. I'm about as excited as this as I was for the Ward win over Kovalev because he was back and he fought Alexander Brand, So I can't get excited over one thing.
Dax, I appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Absolutely. Everybody enjoy your night.
Have a good
That's
night,
Dax Khan. And speaking of Monday, if you're just tuning in, join us every Monday morning. Well, every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time, the Billy C. Morning Show, right here where you're watching this show right now, the post-fight show. But you can also catch us on your handheld. Fight TV has a handheld app. Just go to fight.tv/Billy C. That's FITE.TV/Billy C. And, of course, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Talkin' Boxing. Jeez, right? I'm supposed to be in my feety pajamas. TALKINBOXING. Phone line is open. What's your thoughts? Carl Frampton losing the belt that he won off of Leo Santa Cruz back to Leo Santa Cruz. Will we see a third fight? 845-228-8710. And Sal, I thought that the fight was good, like we said, and I thought that Mikey Garcia, Dax said he was disappointed in the level of opposition, but the truth of the matter is that Dijon Letician was the champion. He went in there with the WBC World Lightweight title, and Mikey Garcia got his opportunity against him and won the title. So it wasn't like they put up a belt. Letician was a guy that was the underdog when he won the title to begin with, but nonetheless, it was his belt.
Absolutely, no, and definitely, the fight was justifiable. I mean, it was a championship bout, and Mikey Garcia just was dominant from the start, and you could see it. And like I said, I'm excited about this guy. Mikey Garcia always does a great job, and he just showed his dominance in the weight division right here and winning that title.
Getting back, 845-228-87.
His third belt in 3 weight classes, right?
Yeah, it's his third title. Give us a call, 845-228-8710. Back to Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz. I like the fact that they gave each other a rematch, so to speak. And do you think they're going to have a third?
I do. I think they should. I mean, it's going to make the most economical sense as well. I mean, people are going to see this fight, and they're going to be willing to pay for it. And especially the fans, 10,000 strong, you can't deny. And whether they have this fight at one's backyard or what, it's going to be a great fight, and it should be something that call it the third Rumble. No excuses, and that's it. They don't have excuses. These are two warriors. What I admired from both of them, they punched bell to bell for 12 rounds. That's conditioning. That's discipline. That's honing in and living your life as a complete fighter.
Well, I think that if they do have a third fight, I think both fighters. First of all, I think Leo Santa Cruz should do the same game plan he had. There should be no adjustments, really. I would, if I'm Leo Santa Cruz, I would employ the same game plan, but maybe assume that Carl Frampton is going to throw more punches, because that's all Carl can do. If he plans to win his belt back, he needs to turn up the punch output, because if he does the same thing, we're going to see the same exact result in a third fight.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Bill, about this kind of thing. I'm a big fan of a fighter that does his homework. And yes, Leo Santa Cruz went to school that first fight, and he learned how and why he lost that fight. So tonight we saw him. He had his balance. He had his jab. He really kept his stance. He was able to fight going backwards. He was able to fight. His feet were underneath him. And Carl Frampton was often off balance and lunging and trying to catch him. And he nearly did a few times, and he probably would have taken his head off, Leo Santa Cruz's head off. But he missed, and that's the end result. He just came up short. And I'm going to say right now, seeing these two fights, I'm going to say if there is a third fight, I think Leo Santa Cruz will win that fight as well. But we'll see.
I picked Leo Santa Cruz to win the first fight. And,
yeah, you did.
And I was wrong. Listen, Carl Frampton, his problem is, and it happens to a lot of fighters, at least it happened in this fight. His problem in this fight, I should say, was that he believed his own press clippings. He beat up a couple of guys in sparring. He rocked Leo Santa Cruz in the first fight. He said that he thought he was going to stop him in this fight, before the fight, and I think that was his game plan, to knock him out. And it seems to be a cliche in boxing when you ask a fighter, what are you going to do? Well, if the knockout comes, it comes, and that's the cliche. It's like, well, every fighter wants to win by knockout, but if the knockout comes, it comes. But it's not just a cliche, even though they all say it. It's really true, Sal, right? Because, the truth of the matter is you need to score points, and then if you get your opponent in trouble, or if you land the right shot at the right time and it lands in the right area the way where you wanted it, that's when the knockout comes, right?
Absolutely. It does. It comes by you doing due diligence, by you doing the combinations, by you getting in, getting out, doing your combinations in an effective way. And boom! All of a sudden, bam! It comes the opening, the one punch leading to the next punch, to follow up, and you get a knockout.
Before the fights took place, before the Mikey Garcia and the rematch between Leo Santa Cruz and Carl Frampton took place, they had the preliminaries up over on Showtime Extreme, and a good young kid to keep an eye on, Josh Taylor. From the other side of the pond, won a unanimous decision over Alphonse Oliveira in a fight that was a little tougher than he thought. One judge had it 79-72, while the other two had it 78-73 to give him a 8-round unanimous decision in the junior welterweight division. Josh Taylor, a kid to keep an eye on. And then in a mismatch, David Benavidez in the super middleweight division fought a Sharali Mamajanov, who normally is a junior middleweight, Sal. He comes up to fight super middleweight, and it looked like a boy against a man. And Mamajanov was down in the first round, and he was down in the second round, and ultimately turned his back on referee Russell Mora, who waved off the fight. Not a great victory, despite winning by knockout. I just think it didn't look like anywhere close to an even fight, but nonetheless, David Benavidez improves to 17-0 with 16 knockouts in that one.
Yeah.
I just thought that. You know what? I guess it is what it is on the preliminaries, but the main events, two good fights. Mikey Garcia showing he's got some pop and class act, but the rematch between Carl Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz this time goes Leo Santa Cruz's way. 845-228-8710. We had a bunch of people calling me when Dax was on, and now the phone lines have stopped. So we'll keep them open for another minute. If nobody calls, Sal, we'll get to go to our feety pajamas. But third fight, you think it's going to happen this year?
We're early into this year, and you might as well get the fire in the oven or get the iron in the fire as soon as possible. And I could see it maybe over the summer, or definitely by the fall, depending. No need for a rematch. No need for a tune-up fight or anything else. This is, let's go right to the next chapter and get a trilogy, get a next fight in. And I think it would be great if they could do that. And I'd say maybe do it over summer, or maybe a little bit in towards the fall. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should be the very next fight. But we got someone on the line right now. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up, guys? It's Joel.
Hey, Joel. How you doing, Joel?
What's up?
Hey, not much. We just want to talk about the one fight, so don't be talking about any of the other fights. What's your thoughts on Carl Frampton?
You mean your best friend FM?
Just Leo Santa Cruz and Carl Frampton. What's your thoughts on that fight?
I thought it was a good fight. I forget who in the chat room was saying it, but I think it was wider than the score should have been. I feel like this is the case with a lot of the PBC Showtime cards. They have it very close. But yes, I think Leo won, pretty clearly. And, as I was about to call in, I heard you ask Sal about the third fight. Will it happen this year? I think so. I wanted to ask you, do you think if Guillermo Rigondeaux moved up to 26, that he would be a big problem for either guy? How do you I mean, because I know they kind of skipped over him at 22, and that's where he's at. I just wanted to get, your and Sal's opinion on that matter. What do you guys think that would have happened if he moved up to 26?
I think that both these guys would give Rigondeaux some trouble. Rigondeaux is a defensive master, but the problem is he's kind of boring, and it would be interesting to see if he could handle the onslaught that both of these guys like to employ. I just think that in this particular fight, Carl Frampton didn't throw enough punches, and if he fought Rigondeaux, he would definitely have to let his hands go. And that's why I would give Leo Santa Cruz an edge out of those two against Rigondeaux, if you know what I mean. But Leo Santa Cruz, if he continues to fight the way he fought tonight, utilizing a jab and his height and reach advantage, which he never does. I mean, this is a guy that comes right at you and fights on the inside like he's shorter, and he's generally taller. So if he fights like this, you might see a new style from Leo Santa Cruz.
I think you're right, Bill. You spoke about that the last fight. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Joel.
No. I noticed that. It was funny, Billy and Sal, that Carl just seems like a very compact fighter. And Leo, I forget the first fight. I don't know if I was watching something else that night. I might have had it on in the background, but Leo, I was watching the fight a little closer tonight, the rematch, and he's a bigger guy, and he fought like he was the taller guy. So that makes sense to me because it just obviously Carl was at 22 as well, and he jumped up to fight Leo. But, I wonder if maybe 22 is a better division for him because Leo just seemed a lot rangier, a lot bigger, used his height, like you said, used the jab very well. And, I don't know. I mean, I feel like a third fight would be in the favor of Leo Santa Cruz again. Someone in the chat room said maybe they'll do it in Belfast. That's interesting, if they can sell out the, I don't know, what is it, the SSE Hydro. I don't know if it's out there, and, if that's Scotland, I forget. But, they have, it would be interesting if they did it outside, the country. I wouldn't mind that. But, hopefully they maybe takes a different fight first, fight somebody else, and then maybe in the summer or fall they have the trilogy.
Why would they want? I don't see why we would have to wait.
Why? Yeah. So they both risk losing, and then it won't have the
right. I don't see why we would have to wait for them to fight. See, that's the problem with the sport today. And Joel, no, I mean this is obviously no disrespect to you, but this is how this is how you and the fans today have been brainwashed, because that's what you get usually. You get a good fight, and then next thing you know, both fighters want to fight a so-called tune-up fight, or basically they want to make another payday before they have the fight. Right now, just like these two guys, their previous fight was their last fight against each other. So if they're going to keep this going, they need to fight their next fight against each other. And like Sal said, we could be seeing this fight in the summer. 3-4 months from now, so that's what I would think. That's what I would think for sure,
Absolutely, Billy. And why take the inherent risk of if these guys take a tune-up fight or another fight, even though they're going to be more majority of the leverage should be in their favor. Hey, guess what? A cut can happen. This can happen. A bad night can happen, and they can also jeopardize and lose. And then that's going to tarnish the luster of a rematch for them. And people say, he's going to be not this. He's going to do this. So, like you said, catch it while the fire is hot. Make it a good payday for these guys. Promote it, want it, and do it.
If they fought a tune-up fight, so to speak, and somebody sustained a cut, that could be a deal breaker, or sway the next fight if the cut gets reopened or something like that. Hey, Joel, before we let you go, what's your thoughts on the Mikey Garcia knockout?
Wow,
that was crazy. I liked Letician. He started to grow on me, but I knew. I think Dax said it too, if I recall. He was just in too deep tonight. Garcia's, was great. I mean, that was a brutal knockout, and Mikey's, for real. It came back at that, first fight in a couple of years. Got right in there, but I just think Letician was just outclassed tonight, and big props. I've never been a huge Mikey Garcia fan. I don't know why. I never watched him when he was on HBO. I never really cared for him, but I know he's a very talented boxer, and he's very exciting, and he's, he's got a good team behind him, in terms of the training. But I hope we can see some more big fights from him. If it's another guy from the Heyman stable or somebody from outside. I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he's at 35 now. So yeah. I mean, it definitely seems like Showtime had the better card tonight. I didn't watch the HBO card, but yeah, I'm really excited. I think Showtime's blowing them away. A lot of big fights coming up, and Showtime's really hitting it off. Really hitting some early home runs for 2017 with boxing so far.
No doubt, Joel. I appreciate the call, my man. We'll talk to you.
Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you during the week. Take care.
Thank you, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
That's my man, Joel. And listen, he's talking about during the week. Don't forget, we do the Billy C Morning Show. Sal and I are available every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Tune it in. Check it out. You'll love the show.
Absolutely.
We talk boxing, and we touch on some other things, too. So tune it in right here, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Phone line is open. We'll take another caller or two, 845-228-8710. We want to hear from you. What's your thoughts on the Leo Santa Cruz Carl Frampton rematch? Leo Santa Cruz regains his title. Will there be a third fight? Just to talk a little more about Mikey Garcia real quick as we take another call. Normally he breaks his opponents down, Sal. I don't recall really seeing him with that one punch knockout, 1-2 shot. But anyway, joining us right now. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey Bill, it's Alex from Tampa.
Hey Alex, what's up, my man? What'd you think of the fight? Hey,
Good evening,
if you
Alex.
could turn down the radio or computer, whatever you're watching us on, so we don't get the feedback. But what was your thoughts on the fight, brother?
No, man. I thought. Well, before I get to the main event, man, I thought Mikey Garcia was tremendous, man. I just was watching him the first couple rounds, like he was very methodical, and I thought he did really well fighting the southpaw. Like he was like the angles, all the angles that he worked, like he was very balanced. Like he was never really square. I thought he did a tremendous job showing how to use your jab, man. Mikey Garcia is a tremendous boxer. And I like how he was able to circle his guy and keep him off with the jab, man. And I was really surprised with that 3-2 combination or the uppercut and the hook, man, when he caught Dejan coming in, and then like that just really like buzzed him, and then he comes with the right hook and knocks him out, man. I thought that was just devastating, man. I thought the guy looked like Pacquiao for a moment there, man. He was just out, man.
He was out. Dude, he was out. He was out, and I agree with you 100%. Isn't Mikey Garcia a class act for the sport of boxing? I mean, this is a guy that comes. Talk about a blue collar fighter. I mean, that's him, and I love him. I love watching it. But like you, I just said just before you came on, normally he's a guy that breaks down his opponent and then finishes him off. Very rarely do you see him with this kind of power and overwhelming power. And I like you. I thought that he might have killed Letician. So
yeah, that was because his limbs, all of his limbs just went numb, and then like I saw like I guess the ringside doctors and ambulance guys, like he was stretching his legs. And
what about when they dragged? Yeah, but Alex, what about when they dragged him back into the ring? I mean,
I was like, like a rag doll.
I know. It was like the Scarecrow in Wizard of Oz. I mean, I was concerned. No, really, all kidding aside, when they dragged him back in, I'm like, oh my God, he's not even. He had no signs of. And then I saw him breathing, thank God, but. Thank God he was okay.
Because he was like hanging like off the off the ring apron a little bit, and they just like some guy just dragged him over like a rag doll. Like whoa, I know. Like this is crazy. But the funny thing is though, oddly enough, man, I was just looking at his resume, man. Mikey Garcia actually has. I think that was his 36th fight, man. The guy actually has like 30 knockouts, and it kind of surprised me. So, I mean, he normally, like you said, breaks guys down later on the fight goes on, but he has substantial knockout ratio. So I don't know, man. I'm looking to see him maybe, because I know he's with, I'm not sure if he's officially signed with Al Heyman, but I know he has some sort of relationship with Heyman. So I would like to see him maybe fight Robert Easter Jr. at some point. I'm not sure if the Matrix, or what they call him, High Tech Lomachenko, if he's going to be coming up. But that would be a good fight. I like to see Mikey versus him, or I like to see Mikey versus Easter, or even Terrence Crawford. I think him and Terrence Crawford would be a tremendous fight.
I agree with you there. I mean, if you people that forget about Mikey Garcia, I mean, just 3 names on his resume, recent fights: Juanma Lopez, Orlando Salido, and Roman Rocky Martinez. I mean, all 3 top-notch fighters that he beat. So, yeah, no, Mikey Garcia is definitely a top-notch fighter. I'm glad that he's back active. Alex, before we let you go, what's your thoughts on the main event? Leo Santa Cruz regaining his title.
I thought, tactics. I mean, this fight, it was pretty much tactics, man. I mean, because if Leo went back to the old tactics, coming forward, he even said it himself. If he would have went back to that, a great counter puncher and Carl Frampton would have lit him up. But I mean, he had so much spacing in this fight. Like he would jab coming forward and he would jab coming back. So either which way, like when he was using his left jab, like he just had Carl Frampton at the end of the jab, and that was one in the fight, man. And it reminded me of what I heard one time. I think it was George Foreman, and also oh my God, what's Ali's old stablemate? I can't even think of his name right now.
Jimmy Young.
No, you're talking about Jimmy Ellis.
I can't think of it right now, but he had that real.
Was also a sparring.
Larry Holmes. Yeah, Larry Holmes always said if you want to be a good boxer, I'll show you how. Show me a good left jab, and you'll be a great fighter. And that was kind of, even though his left jab was not quite like that, but Leo he used that jab really well, and with Carl Frampton being a much shorter guy and having much shorter arms, it just worked much in his favor. And I think that's what's won in the fight, because Leo's a guy that can throw 1,200 punches a fight. I mean, which is it's really exciting for us fans. We like to see that, but tactically, it would have not won him the fight. And I think that was the good change up in this fight. I think his team came in with a tremendous plan, even though I kind of went from Carl last fight, but I was actually happy that Leo won this one, because I would like to see a trilogy, especially in Belfast, because man, I don't know what they got over there in the water, but UK fans, like the Irish, man, these people are they are lunatics, man. I don't know what's up with these people.
Hey, Alex, they travel, don't they?
They travel.
Yo, listen. I mean, I will say, I've always said it, man. I mean, and I think it's culturally maybe like I said, the British, they more or less created the form of boxing that we know today, but culturally, their boxing is just, in terms of their fanfare in boxing is second to none. Like they I don't know, it's more like an ethnic following to a degree. Like they are so committed to it. And I remember when Ricky Hatton, when he had his following, man, it was just so impressive. Even I remember when he fought Floyd, even had so many come over here. Like they just have this occult following, so I would just like to see. I would like to see that third fight. I don't want to see another fight now. Maybe at the end of the year or sometime next year. But I would like to see that fight over in Belfast. I think it will be a tremendous showing.
Yeah, you know what the secret is for those Irish and UK fans. You know what the secret is? Beer.
Oh, here we go.
Beer. It's beer. These guys they love drinking their pints, and they go out and the truth of the matter is they love watching fights live. A lot of us here in the States, we watch it on pay-per-view. Real quick before we let you go, Alex. So you too, like our last caller, you would like to have a fight in between and then have them fight? You wouldn't want to see them fight right next?
Listen, I think I think I would like to see I would like to see Frampton go get a win and just see it's a tough fight before the both of them. So I would like to see an in between fight for the both of them. Something like a tune-up, something light, and then have because these guys still have to make money. So something in between, and then have another fight. But I do want to see the third fight.
Come on, man, they're gonna make. I guess, man. But all right, listen, we got some other calls coming in. Alex, I appreciate the call, man.
No problem. Have a good night.
Take care.
Take care, Alex. You too.
I don't get it, Sal. I mean, phone line is open. I know several people tried to give us a shout when Alex was on. Give a shout back, 845-228-8710. Your thoughts on the Leo Santa Cruz Carl Frampton rematch. I don't know, Sal. I mean, I understand Alex's point and Joel's point.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense. First of all, these aren't guys moving up. They don't need to get a W to get their mind set again. These are champions, and let's be real, they're making some good coin for these fights. If they need to fight another fight to pad their bank account a little bit, I don't think that's fair to the fans. I think that they. You see how the fans are brainwashed,
I know.
dude.
Well, I mean,
that's what it is.
In all due respect to their opinion, Billy, like we were saying, you and I. Why risk something that's not necessary? You have these guys that gave a great performance. They gave it their all, and each one won their fights. Now let's put a trilogy together, and may the best man win. And don't jeopardize the possibility of a future showdown by taking another fight in between. You don't need to. We're all going to be willing to pay for this fight. We're all going to be willing to watch this fight within the next 6 months or several months. And you know what? It's hot, so let's do it. Let's build we don't need to see something in between. That's my thought.
No, I agree with you. And as far as
and one more fight. I mean, they could retire if they had to, so they don't need a bank account. I mean, but go ahead.
Well, they're saying that the next fight they want to have in Belfast. I think that the time difference would hurt for American television. But anyway, we got someone else on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Norman from Amityville, New York.
Norman, what's up, man? From Amityville, Long Island, man. What's your thoughts on the Carl Frampton Leo Santa Cruz fight?
Oh, it was a great fight, but it was such a relief and a pleasure to hear someone say the better man won tonight. No excuses.
That's what I love about both those guys, though, man. I mean, they are class acts in and out of the ring, and Carl Frampton, he clapped when the announcement was made. I was a little shocked when that first judge.
Too, and you hardly ever see that anymore.
How about the first score, 114-114? Did you think?
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, the first judge.
I didn't. I saw it, but I didn't see it myself. And so it's always weird scores coming from them.
Yeah. There was the plant judge. Do you think they should have a rematch, Norman? And do you think the fight should be next?
100%.
Should it be their? Should it be their next fight?
Next fight for sure this summer.
Right. Why do a lot of fans?
He's on our page, Bill. He's on the page.
I know. Why do a lot of fans want him to have a fight in between? I don't get it.
Either to pay their bank accounts or the chicken shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I agree with him. I agree with Norm, man. What'd you think of the Mikey Garcia fight?
Oh, it was scary. I was saying my novenas when I saw that guy fall. Oh my God!
I know when they dragged him back in the ring. I thought
shit.
I know. I thought that
so scary.
I thought that he was not going to wake up from that. But hey, real quick before we let you go, Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton, they have a third fight. What do you think Carl Frampton is going to do any differently? Because personally, I don't think Leo Santa Cruz should change his game plan at all.
Well, I do not want to waste time. I know you got callers, but I could not fathom how he couldn't time that handshake. Not before he makes any move, he has to shake that hand. So why can't he just clock him in the mouth when he's doing that?
I don't understand that whole handshake move that he does. It's getting worse and worse. If you go back and watch his film, and Sal, I told you to do that. You go back and watch his film.
I've been seeing it for years. It's a tell.
Yeah, but it actually hurts him because he can't be throwing a punch when he's in the middle of that shake. You know,
No
and
shit.
yeah,
That's why he's open for a punch right to the mouth while he's doing it, or to the to the ribs or something. You know.
I think Carl Frampton was just. I thought that his game plan was a one-punch knockout, and I think he erred. I think his next approach should be inside. Fight him inside in the center of the ring, right, Sal?
Yeah, I think, well, that or cut the ring off on him. Here's what I saw with Frampton. He was lunging the whole night. He couldn't reach and he couldn't land effectively because Santa Cruz had an effective jab, kept the distance between them. And unlike the first fight, and I even said that, Billy, that night, that Leo Santa Cruz was the bigger guy, and he should have fought in a bigger stance. He did so tonight. Like I said, Leo Santa Cruz saw the game plan that he had to change his style to win effectively, and that's what he did. And Frampton looked like he was trying to lunge in and catch him with a haymaker, and he just was off balance all night. And he was doing his slipping, he was doing his bobbing, weaving, everything else. It looks great, but when you're doing that, you know, you're also not in position to throw an effective punch, and he couldn't land it. That's
he wasn't weaving and bobbing, that's for sure. He wasn't really moving.
Well, you know what I mean. He was just moving side to side with the head movement and lateral movement.
Yeah, back and forth. But, Norm, did you think that he threw enough punches? To me, he was throwing one punch. He wasn't
Not
trying to
at
throw
all, but I
punches
thought
and
his
punches.
defense was great, but you can't win a fight with just defense. I've seen people win fights without defense. You know, that's like the last thing you really need. People block punches with their face.
Right.
You know, but his Carl Frampton's defense was really on point tonight, I thought.
Yeah, well, you know, he was definitely avoiding shots, but he wasn't throwing it. He just wasn't letting his hands go enough.
I agree, 100%.
Hey, Norman, we appreciate the call, my man.
Hey, long-time listener, Billy. You know, I appreciate you very much. And Sal, you're growing on me like a fungus.
Hey, man, thank you
Hey,
so much.
Sal does that.
like that.
Sal does that, man. He grows on people like a fungus. That's a good one, Norm. That's a good one, my man.
I'm not going to tell my girlfriend like that. Hey, man, I thank you so much. You
got it, man.
Norman, have a good one, brother.
Meet at your pizzeria. That might be nice. I heard it's good.
Come down in August. We're going to be doing a thing. Play some golf with us and have some fun.
All right, guys. Nice talking to you.
All right, brother. Ciao.
Good night.
It's Norm from Long Island, another fellow Long Islandian, an Islander, I should say. But we'll take one more call, right? We'll take one more call, 845-228-8710. Yeah, I think that if they do a rematch, Sal, if I'm Team Santa Cruz, I don't do anything different. And I employ the same game plan, but I try to prepare myself for a more aggressive Carl Frampton, because I think Carl Frampton's best shot at beating Leo Santa Cruz is to try to rough him up, get him inside, try and tangle up that long arm reach. And one thing I think he learned tonight, Sal, is that Leo Santa Cruz, if you get him up against the ropes, you're not really giving yourself an advantage. Leo Santa Cruz was able to fight off the ropes pretty well tonight.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He was able to fight backwards. He was able to fight forwards. He was able to go side to side. I mean, he fought. Here's the difference. Leo Santa Cruz went and did his homework and had a plan B. I didn't see that from Frampton at all. And he tried to reach. He tried to lunge. He tried to catch him. He tried to win, of course. He tried to do what he could do. But, you know, he came up short. And from what I saw tonight, I don't think Frampton's going to have his number again. No. I think that Leo Santa Cruz proved to have his number. I could be wrong, but that's why I want to see a third fight.
Well, the physical attributes of both fighters, I think that Leo Santa Cruz utilized his asset in reach and height advantage. And when Frampton did come in and try to press the attack, Leo Santa Cruz answered. If Frampton, and this was something I always tried to tell fighters, and Leo Santa Cruz did it. If your opponent throws 2 or 3 punches, you got to throw 6 or 7 back. And that's what Leo Santa Cruz was doing. Although I don't like the punch stats, the stats did show that he threw way more punches than Frampton. Frampton was more accurate with his punches and landed hard shots. But at the end of the day, he just didn't throw and land enough, Sal.
No, and that's just it. He was trying to load up with that haymaker, and he just wasn't active enough because, again, his aggressiveness was nullified. I mean, one of the commentators said it best. He said the counterpuncher is being outpunched by a counterpunching, and that's what Santa Cruz came in to do tonight.
You're growing on Norm like a fungus, he says.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
That's a good one.
Right, it's a
My
pleasure,
man
Bill.
Norm,
I
that
love
was
the
good.
show, and I love doing this with you, pal. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, you're like that commercial, the mucus. Hey, where are we going? They get on a plane together. Hey, where are we going? Where are we going?
Plug to the commercial? No, I'm teasing.
Anyway, yeah. Well, I didn't mention brands, but yeah, just talking about if they do have to fight it, people are talking about having it in Belfast. I just think that would be for television money. I think that because remember how these guys make a good payday is if they get on a network that's willing to open up a checkbook, and obviously Showtime is. So in order to have it on Showtime, one of two things would have to happen. If they're going to have it in Belfast, they would have to have the fight, like 4 in the morning, maybe 4 or 5 in the morning to get it broadcast live over here. No, I think financially they'll have to have the fight again here in the States, whether they have it in another state. The first one was in New York, second one in Vegas. So I don't know, maybe the third one in California.
I was gonna say, keep
going west.
The country. At least you got 3 hour difference.
Yeah, at least you're gonna go west. But
you go west, young man.
Yeah. But anyway, well, we had a bunch of people calling in. I guess they're like me. It's time for Feedy Pajama time. But I enjoyed the fight. Again, if you're just tuning in, Leo Santa Cruz regained his world title, beating Carl Frampton via a majority decision. One judge had it 114-114, which was a little crazy, but the other two had it closer to my own score, 115-113, giving Leo Santa Cruz the majority decision win. I had it 116-112. I gave only rounds 3, 5, 7, and 12 to Carl Frampton, and then the rest of the rounds 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11, all for Leo Santa Cruz. How did yours break down, Sal?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I gave possibly a swing round or possibly a draw. I gave Carl Frampton the 5th, the 7th, the 11th, and the 12th. When I mean possible, because I also could see Leo Santa Cruz having a draw in those rounds, if not maybe going his way too. But I saw Leo Santa Cruz at halfway mark. I had him pitching a shutout. I had him at 60-55. Or even at the 5th round, I had him at 50-46. So I just thought he jumped out of the gate, and if it was effective with that jab. And like I said, I saw that Frampton was starting to make some adjustments, and I thought that he was going to turn the fight around. But just by the end of the bell, he just fell short. And I think, again, it was those lunges. It was the coming up short with the punches. It wasn't working his way in. And it was Santa Cruz that was just so dominant and effective with that range that he created with that jab and the counter. So that's how I saw the fight, Bill.
Yeah, rounds 3, 4, and 5, I wrote notes, were very close.
Yeah.
Could have gone either way. I think, according to my scorecard and the two of the three judges anyway, seemed to be similar. So I thought the right guy won, and like you, I want to see a rematch, but I want to see the rematch ASAP. I don't want to wait for another fight in between. I think they deserve to fight each other right away, and who knows? I mean, if Frampton wins the third one, do they have a fourth?
Absolutely. I mean,
maybe they can keep fighting.
Like I said,
maybe they don't have to fight anyone else for the rest of their career. They can keep fighting each other.
They can parlay with each other as long as these boxing associations will allow them to keep the belts in the house.
Well, listen, we're glad you stopped by for our post-fight show, and like we said, for 2017, we plan on doing a lot more Billy C post-fight shows. After all the significant fights, whether they be on pay-per-view or one of the main cable networks. And if you're just stumbling across us, don't forget we do a morning show. The Billy C Morning Show, Sal and myself are right here on Fight TV. You can actually get Fight TV on your handheld as well by going to fight.tv. That's FITE.tv/Billy C. Download the app and do a search for us, or go to the community and you'll see us. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/talkinboxing, TALKINBOXING, and of course on our own site. You can check us out www.billycboxing.com. And while you're at it, for all the boxing news that's fit to print, right on the front page of billycboxing.com, we got some great writers. Check out their columns, and always watch the last show we did right on the front. So any final thoughts, Sal Rocky Senecola?
Well, I'm just glad we saw a couple good fights, and I'm sorry I missed the HBO fights. I know they were good ones as well, but I'm very excited about Mikey Garcia's future. Love to watch him fight, and I do want to see a rematch between Carl Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz.
Hey, listen, everyone, make sure you tune in Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Sal and I will be going over this fight. We'll be going over the Mikey Garcia fights. We'll be going over the HBO fights and all the other significant fights that took place this past weekend, as well as any other top-notch sporting news and some other discussions.
Yeah, we might even talk about the Super Bowl coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up. We start Super Bowl week. That's right. And don't forget, if you take the time to drop us an email, we'll take the time to read it. Email is billy@talkinboxing. That's TALKINBOXING.com. Well, listen, I'm going to go grab another shot of scotch, I think, Sal, and after a nice post-fight show, we're looking forward to doing our Monday show. I'm looking forward to coming down in August. Hopefully we can make an announcement on that pretty soon. Since Norman's going to come, now we got Norman coming down. Looking forward to try your pizza. And listen, you're going to have to do, like for me, he's from Long Island. He knows what pizza tastes like, Sal.
Absolutely. And we're going to have a beautiful scotch waiting for you, my friend. We'll do a little blue.
You better have more than one. I mean,
Absolutely.
You better call your guy and tell him to get the case. But anyway, hey, listen, everyone. Make sure you tune in Monday morning and check out Sal and myself. We'll be redoing all of the important boxing results to talk about, and then some. Hey, until then, we'll see you next time. Ciao, baby.
Good night.